Hi guys, welcome back. Just a very quick video on a sample of Geckotek that I've been sent by Geckotek themselves. They've actually sent me two samples, a hot bed plate and a cold bed plate version. So I've never tried these before, and I only really use Captain tape, as most people know. So I thought I'd just do a quick demonstration of how these perform. So it'll be my first experience to see how they perform, really. So just thought I'd share that experience with you. So I'm just going to show something why I am actually going to try them out. Obviously I use Captain tape practically for all my prints, but the trouble is with the Captain tape is it tends to lift off of the glass. It's hard to see. If you can see there, that's actually lifted off of the glass, and obviously that Captain is now ruined, so I'm going to have to reapply some Captain tape, which is fine. I've got, you know, plenty of Captain tape, but it's obviously quite expensive and awkward to apply, so I thought I will try this stuff. There it's called Geckotek, and like I say, they do a hot and a cold stick version, and I'm going to try the hot version right now in my main printer. So I shall just get on and apply a sheet and see how it goes. Okay, see you in a minute. Okay, so this is the result after 2 successful prints using Geckotek. I've just printed out 2 flat plate pieces. These are for a project. They were both sort of printed there. 2 prints. They came off okay. They were quite well stuck down, but they did come off. It has left a impregnated colour into the Geckotek, so the Geckotek has absorbed some of the material. How that affects prints over time, I'm not sure. But these printed flat, they stayed flat. This is printed in ABS with a bed temperature of about 110. No heated chamber and a nozzle temperature of 232 with standard ABS. And yeah, they stuck down okay, they came up not too bad. So I shall do a few more and see how this Geckotek keeps on performing, but so far very positive, looks good. And there's no damage, even when removing with a sharp flat implement. It didn't really damage. I was careful, but I haven't damaged it. So I'm just going for another print, just bed heating now. It starts at 112 first layer and then drops to 110 for the rest of the print. It's only a thin thing I'm printing. It's actually a cover for an LCD holder. Try and stand that up. So yeah, it just basically drops in there, and I drop everything, so it drops in. If I can get it in there, one-handed. Holds the LCD in place, and off on there. So I've just, yeah, I thought I'd try this Geckotek. That's the second print done. It's not very elaborate of a print to try, I know. It's just something flat, but in ABS it's good that it stays down. No brim, no raft. I never use a raft anyway. To be honest, I try not to use a brim. I like my prints to come off and just be usable. So too much cleanup is too much time. So yeah, good on the Geckotek so far. I'll do a few more and we'll get back to this. Cheers. Well, this is my first large ABS print on Geckotek. I've done quite a few smaller things, just flat plates. They've come out okay. So I thought I'd try a reasonably large print, which is this enclosure that I make. It was printed with primer filament ABS. It did stay fairly well stuck down, so that's one good thing. So the Geckotek has done its main job, apart from it has slightly lifted. Come on. In the corners, but that's common even with Captain tape on a large ABS print like this, and that's actually the supports anyway. It's hard to see, it's just lifted on that edge, but that edge is mainly a support material that's inbuilt into the model. It's not a generated support. I find that doesn't tend to work very well, so I have my own generated, well, inbuilt supports in the model, and quite often it does lift on that corner anyway. Even with the ABS, it tends to, with the Captain tape, it tends to lift the Captain tape off the glass, which was the reason for trying this stuff. So I would prefer it to lift off the print than lift the Geckotek off the glass, because then that would be the end of the Geckotek. So yeah, I did kind of expect that. I shall now see if I can get the whole print off fairly easily. It is cooled down now, so it finished some time ago. Really heavily over extruded and under retracted in places, but it doesn't matter. These get sanded down and cleaned up. It's more important they're strong and sturdy and are solid. So these are quite hard to remove generally, so I'm trying to do this with one hand. Don't think I'm going to be able to. Yeah, I did. Okay, so that come up okay off the Geckotek. And as you can see there, come on camera, that corner is just slightly lifted. God, really over extruded and under retracted very very badly. Like I say, it doesn't matter on these prints, they get sanded down and sprayed and they do not look like this when they're finished. It's more important that it's in one piece and strong, which definitely is strong. Yeah, so that's Geckotek and my first large ABS print. And as you can see, I didn't really have to spatula that off, that just pried off quite nicely. It does leave a stain colour into the Geckotek. Not quite sure how much that's absorbing. Obviously over time that's going to affect the surface of the Geckotek, so we shall see. This is about, I don't know, print number 7, maybe number 8 on the Geckotek. You can see where I've done multiple square pads in that one area. You can see it's definitely darker there, and then I've done different pads in different places and larger pads, and you can see each time it's decolored, or should I say it's coloured the Geckotek. What is a bit strange actually is I have been printing with green, and I assumed the green, being the colouring of the green, was from the filament. This is blue, yet the stain is still green. Strange. I'll have to see what that is. Might try some other colour filaments and see what stain they leave, but it's not damaged, it's not lifted. Feels the same as when I put it on. It looks in good condition. And my print stayed down. It's not the tidiest of print, but this is ABS, and it's cheap ABS. It's nothing really special. It's only primer, like I say, primer filament, primer value filament, should I say, I think is the real term. Let's see if I can find the reel. I'm kind of working in the dark tonight. So this is what it is. Primer, ABS, primer value, 1.75, blue, 1 kilo. And there it is there. So yeah, the Geckotek has done its job admirably, I should say. Quite often these do fail really bad on ABS, on the Kapton tape, and it can really peel the Kapton tape off the glass, no matter how clean the glass is when I put the Kapton tape down. And even if I rub a hard roller over this to get the Kapton tape to really stick down to the glass, quite often it will lift on these corners. A huge amount of force is generated as these prints tend to shrink a bit, especially with the cheaper standard ABSs. ABS Pluses are a little bit better, but yeah, standard ABS will warp even in a heated enclosure, guys. Don't think it won't. This was printed without the heated enclosure. The heat was maintained at about 40 degrees, but it does that with the bed on its own and the door shut, so I didn't have extra heat applied, so I can apply extra heat and heat the chamber, but I didn't bother. I found these thinner enclosures printed like this are generally okay, and it's obviously more expensive to run a heated chamber for every print, and these are quite a long print time. So anyway, Geckotek, my first large ABS print, performed really well. The only thing I can see is this funny colouring, and it's a bit strange, like I say, why it's the same colour even with a different filament. Maybe that's some properties of the material they're using. I will say one thing about this Geckotek: when you put it on, it does have a very strange smell to it, and the first time you apply heat, it does release that smell quite strongly. It's worn off now, so it doesn't smell at all, but when you first apply it, it does pong a bit, so do bear that in mind. Might be best to have the windows open when you apply this stuff. It's not incredibly bad, but it was quite strong, I must say. But there we go, Geckotek, large ABS print. I think that's 14 hours, I think. 12, 14 hours, something like that. I can't remember now. I do so many of these, but now yeah, so it's performed the job it intended to do. So we shall try a few more, and I shall update some more videos on this. Cheers, guys.